Boop. All right, it looks like we might have two concurrent viewers. Concurrent meaning maybe you're actually watching. Although I think one of those viewers may be myself because I've got this open. I don't under. It says playbacks 3. I do look like Mr. Raleigh D is there. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we'll get a few others. I'm going to start in about 2 minutes. I'm going to mute myself until then. All right, it's 1:59 Eastern, and it's going to be 2 o'clock soon. Hey, if you're watching, as they say, as those cool people say, smash that like button. Oh, if you hear the birds, that means our clock says it's 2, so I'm going to get started. Welcome and welcome back. Today I will be reading and commenting on One Man's Trash, written by Jay Williams, as is the case with all of these scripts. I have not read this. I think I went to the first page just to make sure it was actually a script, but other than that, I have not read that. I'm going to read it along with you and hopefully give some valuable comments. I don't know about insight. Before I get started, I just wanted to say I'm still looking for scripts for this YouTube thing and also for the producer who I have mentioned on a few different forums and websites is looking for $1 to $3 million scripts. He did tell me this past week that he's found one that he's greenlit, nothing that I gave him, and they're moving forward on that and might have another one going, but they are going to be continuing to look for content. So if you've got something in the $1 to $3 million range that you think is really ready to go, let me know. If you want something, if you have something that it could be like that, or it could be maybe this needs some workshopping, I'd be happy to do that on this YouTube thing. But if I know up front, if you really feel like this is it, this is ready to go, that's great. And if you feel like it needs to be workshopped, just let me know up front, because that could kind of alter my perception of how I read it and maybe the comments I make. The guru, not guru. Don't even know what that means. All right, let's get started. One Man's Trash, written by Jay Williams. I'm going to try this method that I did last time where I actually had the auto scroll on, maybe after a few pages. All right, fade in. Triple spacing, a little unusual. I'm still not sure about this bold. A lot of people have been using this, and maybe that's the new thing. Otherwise, looking good. Sunshine, Basil, Lethe Avenue, in the affluent part of New York. Trophy cars rust out. Mature oaks. The Beasley Oak. Garbage trucks buried along the road. Probably comma here, then groans to a halt. From out of the truck climbs Dylan. So this is a very small thing right here. This sort of reads like a novel, and if you really think visually, and to make it simpler, I would say Dylan climbs out of the truck, boom, and then give his age and everything. You know, from out of the truck climbs Dylan. It's the same thing. It just reads a little bit stranger. Returns from a stroll, says Eliza. Morning, bed. Lovely day for it. Lovely day for the stroll, I guess. Morning, Ben. Lovely day for it. Maybe the stroll here. Morning. All right, we know their names. Liza, where are your manners? Say hello. Crouches arms outstretched. Let's go. Lisa amazingly jumps into his arm. He gives a lot of facially licks his face. So he's a he's a garbage man. You must get hot in that. This doesn't really sound like a question, even though he's asking a question. You must get hot in that big puffy jacket, Dylan. All right. He doesn't need to say his name again. And he doesn't need a question mark. I don't know. This feels a little bit strange. You must get hot in that big puffy jacket, Dylan. That big jacket must be hot. I don't know. Don't you get hot in that? Something like that. Standard question mission. Boss men are convinced we'll get knocked down if we don't wear them. Because they won't be seen, I guess. Honk, the driver of the garbage truck, Pete, thinks that word. He yells at Dylan out of his window. Out the window. Get a move on. So Dylan he's in the truck, but he's not the driver. All right, get a move on. Dylan mockingly bows to Pete. Affectionately. I don't know that I would use typically adjectives, although I will plead guilty to including them in my scripts. Adjectives generally frowned upon, like mockingly. I think because typically the dialogue and what's going on sort of serves the purpose. In this case, we would know that Dylan was mockingly bowing, probably, and affectionately. I don't know why. I don't know that that's needed. So this is a truck where you don't strap them on the back and they go. This is just one that you just throw it in, I guess. Yes, master. Coming right away. Short montage during which we follow. Someone told me recently. No, I saw it on YouTube. It was a script guy who did coverage, and he was a writer. A really good interview on can't remember the name of the website, but anyways, he said that whenever you include we. Oh, hang on a minute. How embarrassing. He said whenever you include we, it takes the audience out. I would just say short montage. Well, I wouldn't include this in the action of this scene because that's not really how it goes. Yes, master, coming right away. Dylan jumps back onto the truck. And then you would say montage. I would just say montage or series of shots and get rid of all of this right here because that's not needed. Short montage. Dylan's ambushed by 6-year-old kid with a lightsaber. Helps the old lady. But the rest of this is fine. Oh my gosh. Wait. I gotta call you back. I'm doing my live stream script thing.
Okay.
All right, I'll call you back in a while.
Sounds good.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Mute it last time. Anyways, one of my sons called. He's an actor, and if you want to see him, you can watch Dave on FXX. He's going to be on with his twin brother late June, early July. Check your local listings. Sorry. All right. All right, short montage. Da da da. Cut to generally not needed. I mean, when you think about it, why do you need it? The director will decide that. Um, I mean, if it's maybe dissolved to show a time passage or something. All right. A lot of people have been using interior, exterior, and I kind of get that, but where is the camera? Is the camera inside the truck? Is the camera outside the truck? Um, like if you're looking through a window in a house and the camera is outside, then that's exterior house, even if you're looking through the window. So unless the action is moving inside and outside the truck, I would stick with one or the other. All right. This is ironic. If they're idling in a truck or a car, they're not moving, right? So that's not maybe piddle along or something, because if they're idling, technically they're not moving. So that's a little bit confusing. We could do this run any other time if you quit visiting. If you quit the visiting pastor routine. So Pete is accusing Dylan of spending too much time talking to people. But I haven't heard him preaching or giving gospel advice, so I'm not sure why it's maybe the friendly neighbor routine, something like that. They'd only send us somewhere else in the afternoon anyway. You've got an agency guy for company tomorrow. Anyway, you've got an agency guy. So Dylan is saying that he's got a sub. Maybe there's a way better to say that, because when I see company, I'm thinking of the company they work for, but that's not the main news to me. This is a period, I believe. He's not saying news to me. He's making a statement. Short notice, got to take my aunt to the bank. She's had her life savings robbed by an internet fraudster. All right, here's some exposition, which I think is fine. I don't know if she hasn't really had them robbed. I guess she has, but I mean, for some reason, it sounds funny. Stolen? Taken? Something? Let's just see. We're still... it looks like we're live, still streaming. Scumbags. The trouble. It's. Shouldn't be an apostrophe there. That is a possessive. It's is possessive by itself. This is how my scampers down her lawn as she wags an angry finger at Dylan. What time do you call this? What time do you call this, Mr. Dylan? Lovely to see you, as always, in a rain or sunshine. I don't think I don't see you goofing off down the avenue with all and sundry. Yikes. I'm not sure what she means by this line here. What time do you call this? Is she saying they're late to her house? I like this. That's funny. I don't see you goofing off down the avenue with all and sundry. Yeah, this is a little confusing. I kind of get what she's saying, but it's very wordy. I see you goofing off down the road or something. It feels like this is too long. He wouldn't say her name again. I did it. Training course on a shiny badge. That's good. Whoop, well, something happened to the formatting here. It doesn't line up. Yeah, I don't know about this line. I need to keep an eye on you. Probably don't spell over. I'm just thinking, how is this moving the story ahead? We need to remember, as screenwriters, every line of dialogue moves the story ahead and reveals character, or reveals character. I mean, maybe she could just say, I need to keep an eye on you. Or something about that, or something about spilling it on her lawn. Because this, I like this line here. Must get a sweat going. Window yells from a first floor window. Oh, okay. This is. It's not apparent that it's Mrs. Oppenheim's house. This is incorrectly punctuated. Wendy, I would say Wendy 30s yells from a first floor window. Keep in mind though, are all of these people going to appear in the script as it goes? Because you're introducing 3 or 4 characters so far. How dare you make fun of them? That's not a question mark. It just should be a period. Dylan waves to her. When you've got someone right here, we don't need to have her name there necessarily. Just like if this was Dylan talking, you could just say he waves. Hi, Wendy. Your line is, oh, Romeo. Slams the window shut hard. I wouldn't capitalize either of those. No need to it. Unnecessary capitalization, in my opinion and others, slows down the read. It should be character introductions and sound effects, pretty much. Sound effects that are, manufactured or off screen or something. I think this is obvious. I don't really know that she needs to say that because we just saw it happen. I'll be talking to your supervisor. Okay, that's fine. Whoa, wait a minute. Wendy slams the window shut, and now she's suddenly storming toward Dylan. So we need to say like the door blows open and Wendy stalks or storms toward. And now Wendy's set up here. How dare you make fun of my mother like that? And now she's saying, you think it's funny making fun of a defenseless old lady. Which is kind of the same thing. And being, I don't know why she considers her mom defenseless. You think it's funny making fun? I'm not sure what Wendy's point of doing this is, that she couldn't do from the house unless she's going to hit Dylan. I don't know about this line, defenseless. What gives him the motivation to say that? If she was carrying like a walking stick or something, or, a shotgun or something, I could see it, but I don't really get it. Concurrent viewers drop down to 0. I don't think anyone's watching. Oh well. You think it's funny making fun of a defenseless old lady? Okay, I need you to come to the backyard with me. So Wendy ignores his thing and just tells him again. Formatting is a little goofy there. So we're inside the house. So I need you to come to the backyard, but for some reason they couldn't walk around. They had to go inside. There's a couple of bars that she could have delivered this line up here. There's a couple of bags in the backyard I need you to take out. She could have said that right here. And then he would have said, I'm really not supposed to. So it seems unusual that unless they're fairly good friends, that you would bring a garbage man, so to speak, inside your house and have him walk through. He's taken off his boots. I assume it's the reason for this is so this can happen right there. The problem for me is he says, who is she? A niece, a cousin. And then Wendy says, it's me. And Dylan says, those eyes are a giveaway. So did he not know that here? Or is he... He's kind of a jerk, so not really liking him too much. Must you carry on this? What is the ridiculous charade? Being a jerk? Coming into her house? Making snide remarks? It just seems funny that he's got this relationship with all the people on the street. I mean, it's kind of a quirky thing, but not really understanding it yet. You should maybe do the same sometime. We might get along. Mr. Peters, do call me Dylan. Mr.? I don't understand that. Let me just read some of this straight through. Peters, but please do call me Dylan, Mr. Peters, if you are for some ridiculous house that you and I could ever be on that version thing. Place in this neighborhood which is to be respected. I'll make sure he doesn't speed any. So if you think about this, all right, so I kind of get that, not completely, but think about the end of your scene. We see Mrs. Oppenheim yell, make sure he doesn't spill any, and then we're fading. What are we fading on? Her face in the door frame? Do we get any reaction from Dylan and Wendy? Why do we... This would not be a fade too. Just the whole idea that this scene takes place inside is a little bit strange. I understand maybe he's got to see this photograph for some reason, but why this wouldn't take place as they were walking around the house and then she puts her head out the window and delivers that line. How they're much heavier than they look. Did you put some bricks in here too? Comma, two. Brown putrid gack leaks from one of the sacks onto his boots. But that'll take ages to walk around to the truck. I guess I don't understand the geography of this house. So he's got to go out the back gate as opposed to the side gate. And why is this shouldn't be a question right here. You can't really go through the house with that, whatever it is oozing out. Dylan takes off one of the bags, nicks a gatepost, and tears. Out spills a gaudy pink purse. Hello. And he said, my mother, she lost it a while ago. Must actually, it can be a little... to have a purse spill out, that would be a pretty big rip. So all the other stuff would probably spill out too. I don't know if this is a coincidence, if it's going to come back later, the purse falling out. Who could? You're warning to me. So I like some of this, his little funny comebacks are sort of cute, but it just feels like this is just taking a long time. I mean, the scenes aren't that long in and of themselves, but it just seems like you could get to the substance of the scene quicker here. Like, I don't know. I mean, the key part of this, I assume, is the purse, maybe. All the rest of this, I don't really understand how, again, it's moving the story forward. Maybe it will pay off, though. Pick up at 7 sharp. Thanks, Dylan. Very nice of you, Dylan. Yeah, that's kind of cute. He's kind of a jerk, but in a nice way. I wouldn't have cut to. More of the Gackleys and the things. The whole time, his buddy Pete is just sitting there, not getting mad at him. It felt like this scene This stop took 2 or 3 minutes, which is a super long time, obviously. I would just cut all of these things out. I don't know. Man, what is it? Lunch from the 80s. Does this move the story forward? I mean, if he really likes Wendy, this is the end of the scene. The things you do for love. That could have a couple meetings, and that's a pretty nice line. But I would not even include this. I would not include that. All right, upscale bar. The place is busy. Small groups of affluent looking. Are they affluent, or do they just look affluent? A pair of bearded hipsters sup overpriced. This would be double quotes, but I don't even know if you would need to double quote them. How do we know they're doing this to impress the girls? If these bearded hipsters, well, I guess they're not really playing any part, so they wouldn't have to be capitalized, but I don't understand this setup here or what the point of that is. You wouldn't need to cut to. Same bar. So exterior. So give it a name. I would say give it a name, then you could just have the same name here. Do not need a single quote there, just because you don't. Disheveled in an almost cool way. All right, that, I guess the art director would know what that means. Nicotine vapor machine as he taps a button on his cell phone. No, so where is he? Is he standing outside the bar? I guess. Dildo Baggins, you're late. Oh, that's, I'm gonna sneakily. So this kind of feels like a novel sentence. I would just say Dylan sneaks up behind him. I'm standing here like a little boy lost waiting for you. Like a lost little boy. Like a little lost boy. Making him jump. Dylan grabs Ernie's side. Ernie jumps. This, in the process, it's not, think about cinematic. That's not a visual. Making him jump. Jesus, don't do that to a little bag. How long did that take you to come up with? Oh, come on, we're wasting time. Place is full of fitties. Fitties. All right, this is a word I'm not familiar with. I'm an old square, I guess. All right, no cut to needed. Each sup. Is that, I guess that's just another word for drink. I mean, I've heard it before. It's just, do you think we could stand somewhere else? Question mark. Possibly away from the bathrooms. Have I taught you nothing? No, nothing at all. This is the best place to stand. All the women have to pass you. All right, so this, I mean, I get why this is Ernie's strategy, but it feels like, again, this could be cut down. I mean, he's saying exactly what's obvious, I think, and we know that they're standing there. I mean, what if Dylan just said, why do we stand here? Why do we have to stand here all the time? Or why do we always stand here? Or could we stand somewhere else for a change? And then Ernie could say, hey, they've all got to go this way to go to the bathroom. Something, but this feels like, again, not advancing the story. Man, you're truly awful. Drink up, Dad. You're round. Slow down, hotshot. It's a school night. They're obviously not father and son, so they're playing with each other. I guess it's just a little repertoire. As Dylan passes away, he notices Ben, the dog walker, and waves along. Few point shots of people. Yeah, that's not really, quote, legal in a script. When you think about a page a minute and each line is roughly a second and like 1.1 seconds or 1 point, I don't know, something seconds. So you have to think, I mean, that right there could easily take 5 seconds, so that's fine. But a few quick shots of people enjoying the evening, I don't know why that's needed. It sounds like a time is passing there, but yet Dylan is going to the bartender right after he did this. And gestures to keep the change. He crossed a note? Oh, a note, as in money, I guess. Not, I was thinking a note like he had written a note for him. Dylan, that hot chick I told you about from last week. Is this the same one that we found out about up here? That hot brunette? So he's kind of repeating himself. Why not just, and again, he wouldn't typically say his name. People don't say each other's names really that often. All he has to say, that brunette just smiled at me. I think that's all he really needs to say here. She went to the corner. Come on, let's go say hello. Both of us while I'm going in. I don't know what is wrong with the formatting here, why some of these are not correct. And I don't know which is right. I'm guessing this is, but strike while iron's hot. I'll send for. All right, this is good. Although this, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe this is the correct. Hi, Dylan. How are you? Not seen you in here before. No question mark needed there. My pal. It wouldn't be capitalized. Oh, it's not so bad. Not usually this busy during the week. So what happened to Ernie? What? So Ben knows Ernie? My pal, Ernie. Oh, all right. The loudest voice is Ernie's. He's supposed to be wasting his time with a table full of women, question mark. I'm not sure why this question mark. And I thought he went to see one woman in particular, and yet this says table full of women. Ernie sticks his head around the corner. There's some people I like you to meet. Be lucky, Dylan. See you soon. Making a face. What kind of a face is he making? I'm not sure. Shakes his head, takes a long breath, then heads off around the corner. All right, so he disappears, so we need to have maybe a new scene, like, you know, at the table or something, because this, unless the camera's going to follow him. 3 girls sit at a table. No passive, please. 3 girls sit at a table with 1 empty seat. So Ernie is standing. Hello. All right, we've heard the name Dylan like way too many times here. All right, think about moving the story ahead. Yeah, this is, I guess, a really bad, purposely bad, funny pickup line, but yeah, I can't even imagine somebody using that line, but maybe it works for him. Yeah, painfully embarrassed. Yeah, that's so. He says he wants to meet him. He comes around and then he just goes back into his story. Burst into mocking laughter. So the girls aren't important because they're not capitalized here. They should at least have a capital G, if not the whole word girls. With the fruit of his efforts, leans into his ear. They're laughing. Yeah, I think this could be cut down into maybe one sentence. The girls laugh. The girls burst out laughing. Ernie mistakenly thinks he's scored or, you know, whatever. This is kind of on the nose to me. All right, so what I'm thinking structurally is, we're on page 11 now. if you think of inciting incident or catalyst, like our friend Blake Snyder or a lot of other writing authors tell us, what is really the inciting incident? What's the catalyst here? What's getting the story going? I'm not sure yet. A brunette passes with an ice bucket that holds a ball and she places it at the table and takes the empty seat. Head down, she tops up the empty glasses. Tops off the empty glasses? Head down. Not sure why your head would be down. You my qualified friend. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is, wow, he's really annoying. Snaps into panic mode. Dylan goes? Not Dylan's. Not. No, I won't. Don't listen to him. He's an id. Up. So Wendy is the hot brunette. It's hard to believe that Dylan would not have seen that by now. That's very hard to believe. It just seems forced to make the reveal down there. I don't know how he could not tell. Unless she came in and her back was to him. Dylan, oh boy, it was what are you doing in here? Doesn't strike me. Yeah, this is a good line right here, but I don't know how much of this is needed. Now, see, yeah, since these girls are all talking, they need to be capitalized when they get introduced. No way, we're just getting started. We could use some more champagne. Would you be a darling? Don't be an idiot, Ernie, though. I'll humor you until you're broke, until you are broke, or U apostrophe R-E. A hot brick. Dumping it all around. See, you got it. So Ernie is obviously a real idiot. Sorry to say. And again, they're saying their names so often. Ernie, Dylan. I would get rid of all of those. All right, so page 12. I'm trying to think. They go to the bar. He sees Wendy. She's with some friends, and they kind of get blown off again. Okay, Mrs. Stedman. Across the bank manager. Please believe me. I'm sorry. I've just been so stressed over this whole mess. All right, the mess meaning having her account hacked, I assume. There must be something you can do to keep the wolf from the door. We just need a few more days to come up with something. He's telling the bank manager to do something and then saying that he's going to come up with something. I don't know what. I mean, if they took the money by hacking into the bank, I don't know that it would be on Mrs. Stedman. And I don't know, is he delivering this line in seriousness or in sarcasm? Keep the wolf from the door. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine a bank, unless it was totally her fault and she was totally responsible. Maybe that's the case. Secure against the debt. Well, no, but I could get an evening job, maybe. I don't know that. I'd question mark there, my friend. Foreclosure proceedings will begin at the end of the month. I make that 10 days. I really am sorry. So this is, I guess, the inciting incident here. Okay, this is a catalyst. They set the time ticking for 10 days. They got to get all of the money, or they're going to take the house away because she lost the money that was in the bank. I'm not sure how that relates to losing her house, although she can't make her payments. I guess that's why. All right. Drag some stuff. So is he in his uniform now? Is he working? We assume. Storage box on the top shelf. As he reaches the garbage can, he hears a cry from inside the house. Wendy, the box. So this should be off screen, or OS, off camera, off screen. Wendy, the box. Yes, Mother, I'm getting it now. Hold your horses. Dylan picks up a garbage can and heads back toward the truck. Dylan, would you mind? Drops the can on the floor. Where is this garbage can? It's inside? It's inside the garage? Nothing. Not that you're really asking the question or would care to know the answer if there were indeed something wrong. Get over yourself. Is this about you and your idiot friend? He's not an idiot most of the time, at least not when his better nature is being fully full of fizzy from the present company excluded, obviously. In that number? Maybe a table full of parasites? If your friend Ernie. I don't know. There's something about a box here, and then Dylan, would you mind doing what? Getting the box? It just feels like it's retreading over ground that we've already covered. If you want to be cast over, a friend is too stupid to realize when he's being played as the fool by a table full of dry gold. I mean, again, we already know this, and I think Dylan knows this. So maybe a shorter way to say that. This is a big, long sentence. Okay, Mr. Dylan Peters. Peters? Why? I don't understand why there's a thing there. What if just this constantly saying their name is, I guess it's a stylized way, but I just don't buy that they would do that. You're not my father. I'm sure I could handle the overall. Drops her guard just a little. Well, he's not alive to disagree with you. Sensing a chink of work to do. If he senses a chink in her armor, I don't know why he would back off. It seems like he would press his advantage or something. Wendy the box on its way. Catches up with Dylan. So list of trustees at the community. Oh yes. What of it? There's a box in the garage that contains some items my mother wishes to donate to the raffle for the fundraiser at the weekend. So the whole point of this this scene starts in the street. We find out about, I mean, this is a 2-page plus scene, and I assume that this is the key part of it right there, that there's the box that has some donatable items. So maybe we could get to that a lot quicker. Their little interplay, I mean, it's kind of cute, but I think it could happen during something that has to do with moving the script forward, because this is just retreading last night, all of this stuff. What a saint. Interior and coffee together on the terrace. They took me for $450, man. Fool systems was a good job. They weren't hungry too. So yeah, he did tell him so. So again, we're retreading last night. All stuff we know. Here's the point of the scene right here. It looks like this fundraiser. Ernie, sorry, what the fundraiser? I'm doing the barbecue. You're doing the barbecue, yes. And I said I would help. Only Wendy's going to be there. So I was thinking I might help out in the kitchen. I said, no worries, but why are you trying to avoid her? She's super hot. It's complicated. Actually, no, it's not complicated at all. I really like her, but she totally hates me. Well, this is extremely apropos, but why, if he likes her, why is he being a total jerk? And he knows that he's being a jerk. So, yeah, it doesn't really play to me that he's serious about whatever, trying to date her or have a relationship with her or be nice to her. And yet, everything we've seen from him, he's kind of being a flippant, smarmy jerk. And unless he has some, I don't know, what would cause a guy to do that? I'm thinking out loud and I can't think of anything. I mean, if he was being overly nice to her and maybe obsequious, and she just is like, wow, this guy's trying way too hard, that's not attractive to me, I would understand that, but I don't understand why he would act the way he did if he's truly into her. So this, I mean, again, the important thing is there's going to be a fundraiser. They're going to have something there in the box. I assume it's going to be worth a lot of money. They're going to do something with it. He's going to be there doing the barbecue. Wendy's going to be there. But man, this I think needs to be all told a lot quicker. All right. I mean, this is kind of on the nose. I like that. Want me to talk to her. That's a great line. And I don't know that he needs to even have a comeback. That is a good line right there. But it gets lost in all this other stuff. To me. She might take a shine to me, right? Yeah. Okay. Ernie is sort of a lovable, goofy ditz. Maybe his barbecue skills are like super awesome or something. Tries to disguise his grimace. A young man, Josh. Oh, there we go. We got more names. Names. How's it been working? Oh my gosh. See this? No, please. Sorry, it didn't come out very nicely, but we've heard his name so many times, and so many times there's got to be, I mean, think again, move the story ahead. Move the story ahead. Well, he's in the computer business. He's a hardware guy. Aspiring software dude. I'm off to a trade premium. Who's he telling this to? Does Dylan not know this? Oh, this is Josh talking. Sorry. But you only need one sale. Here's hoping. I don't suppose you guys fancy it. I could sure use the company. Ha, this is a good line. That's a good line. This is obvious. Okay, if you change your minds. Question mark? This, I guess I think I see the point of this, but look how long they've been sitting here. Coffee house. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost 4 pages. That's a long scene. How did you get to know him? He did some repair work for us and cleaning porn, and now the kid thinks he's Steve Jobs. Wait, don't be so hard on him. Ernie, please. In bags. That's because you never wanted to go anywhere. I like familiar surroundings, but I sure as hell like. Forget about it, comma, right now. No need for a comma. You're already maxed out on your credit. I don't know how Dylan knows that, but obviously Ernie does, so that line probably not needed. I'd remove the cut too. It just feels like if the story is that Dylan's mom needs money so her house won't get foreclosed, and Wendy's mom has got this box of stuff which may have some valuable items they're going to sell or auction off or do something with, and if Dylan is going to find what's in there, I'm just speculating, and take them and sell them, and then Wendy's going to get mad, but he'll save the mom's house or something. But this just feels like it's taking way too long to get going. It looks like it's currently streaming. I'm going to go about another 10 minutes, and that will make it a cool hour. I'll see if I can get through Act 1 here. Again, my point here is I never determine how long I'm going to spend reading these, but certainly if I found a script that was a page turner and I was super into it, I would gladly read the whole thing. I did that a couple weeks ago with a really good script, and man, I flew through that because it was just so cleanly and nicely written. All right, super 1 week later. Telephone ring. So like this, you could use a caps. Oh my gosh. This is just, we just have to move the story ahead. I don't know why he would have, I guess he's got a landline for some reason, but we just don't need this stuff. All he has to, the scene starts right here. Because he doesn't have to say who he is. Dylan's going to know who he is. Great. Could you go by the shop and put a temporary close to the side? Friend. Okay. The line's not too great. Where are you? The line is, so that's an apostrophe. He seriously, So if you're going to cut at the end of the scene, I would make it a dash dash, because this indicates, ellipses typically indicates trailing off, as opposed to a hard, and then it just cuts. All right, so that's interesting. He's going to Vegas, but this could be much shorter. Another sunny day. I don't know why this is necessary. I mean, it could be a sunny day if that's important. Save our hall. Save the clock tower. There's a lemonade stand at Coconut. Shy. I don't know what this is, but that's all right. Manned by Dylan and Rod. I thought the grill was going to be manned by Ernie, but he's not there. Okay. I'm sorry, I'll stop mentioning it, but please reconsider using all these names in here. Is this on a bun or just a burger and a paper napkin? I'll come and find you. I would offer to help, but I'm a lousy cook. I'd poison half the customers. One cook burger. Okay. Not sure the point of this so far. This could be some copyright problems. We would be honored if you would join us. The kid, this maybe has got to be capitalized or something. No dice, I'm afraid. Already pledged my allegiance to the Klingon. Star Trek is for geeks. I'll pass on. You might have a fight on your hands. These are not the burgers I'm looking for. This is pretty funny. That's a funny line. All right, so he's running the grill, even though Ernie was going to, but otherwise, I don't really understand how this brings the story forward. Texas home, Bones and Bunting. Again, passive. Don't need is. Just reconstruct the sentence. That's what would be my advice. At Toombola, offer soft twice the price on the whilst. Counters Wendy. I don't know. I mean, runs into, meets up, sees, encounters is a word that I don't know why you would really necessarily want it. I always try to find words that are as short as possible. Oh my gosh. These question marks, most of them need to not be there. Okay, so right here, not moving the story ahead. It's a step up from the employment ladder from garbage collector. At least I've got a foot on the first rung. This feels like... So this is... Oh, okay, this is Dylan's line, so that's a mistake. If it's none of his business, she would just say, none of your business. This should be Y apostrophe R-E. See, this just, I mean, for your information, it's actually for the audience's information. How dare you? This is not a question. This should be a very small thing, but that should be written out. F-I-V-E. I sacrifice the comes whilst. This may be British. If that's what you mean. Spare us the violins. Wow, kind of heartless. Meanwhile, you were probably sleeping with half of Harvard to earn your degree. Slaps. Dylan. You could probably just say slaps. Who do you think you are? This is a question. Nobody. So, again, Dylan likes Wendy, but he's got this problem where he absolutely can't be nice to her and is continually just not thinking. So there's got to be some endearing quality about him that we haven't really seen yet, and I'm not sure what it is. It's just, I kind of like the characters a little bit. I see maybe a dynamic, but it just feels like these scenes have a lot of unnecessary dialogue. I mean, look at this. They talk for about, holy smokes. So I'm looking, that's a long scene. Would she really say loser? There is a large mirror. Save it for someone who cares. Why are you so hard on him? He's a lovely fellow. No one else has a bad word to say against him. That's hard to believe. How about his boss or the guy who drives the truck? Week on week. It's not a crime to be sweet on someone. Maybe not, but no, I've never seen you with a guy. I've seen you with plenty. Charming. I just defrost a little before your heart gets freezer burn and is no good to anyone. I kind of like that idea, but it feels a little like it could be reworded. Heart gets freezer burn. I like the sentiment behind that. When do you gotta go home? I forgot my speech. Are you sure, Mother? Are you sure you forgot it? Are you sure I've got to go home? Are you sure? Left on the table. Okay, but we'll have to hurry. Why do they both have to go home? Why can't just Wendy go? Oh no, wait, I'm a very large donor to the hall. I just, man, I just not feeling this dialogue moving fluidly. They just are talking. They feel like they're talking way too much and not saying enough, if that makes sense. Swaps the bag and picks it up and goes in motion over. She left her bag behind. Oh, that might be a little bit of a coincidence. Maybe this is the act break. I'm not sure. She left in a hurry with Wendy. Wait a minute. Ben was just there, and he knows they're going home, so I'm not sure why Ben is lying. People just show up for coincidental reasons. I mean, is it important that his brother's birthday is today? A short montage. Okay, see, that really is a no-no in a script. It needs to say montage, dog show, boom, 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 boom. I mean, is this going to last? Right now, this lasts like a second on camera or 2 seconds, but if it's going to last 5, 10, 15, I don't know. It's important to show the dog show. And so this is a new scene here because this is montage, dog show, blah, 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 and then new scene. In his open sports hold all below a trestle table and zips it up. Places a handbag. Did I miss much? No, died off a bit. Now maybe we should call it a ASUS meal. Take the burgers and buns back to the kitchen. So we go to Vegas. There has to be, I would end this scene on some thing. I'm just going to read this Vegas scene, and then I'm probably going to call it a day. Oh, that's a 3 o'clock bell. 3 o'clock bird. It's slouched. See, here's is slouch. Ernie slouches on a leather couch. Although it kind of rhymes. That's all right. An attractive woman on either side. The woman is right past an ice cube from her lips to his. Josh. Do we know Josh? I think we... Oh, Josh. Yeah, the computer guy. That's the last two. Liven up a little. We're in Vegas. Yes, we know that. No, that's it. I'm on a strict daily budget. I'm already no more. This maybe could be the first line he says. Cuz, if that's like because, that would be C-U-Z typically right here. Is that the italics of this same font? It doesn't look like it. That looks like a different font. They take a bottle each and wave goodbye as they leave. They wave goodbye, period. They don't. We know they're leaving. Way to go, way to go. Calm the hell down, Journey. I've got a lot of right. I don't need to be bailing you out. You are going to from hospital. I can look after myself. Always have done. This place may be all glitz and glamour on top, but scratch will deserve it. There's a lot of people out here looking to take advantage of this. So I guess it's not that long of a scene. I'm just not sure what the point is. It establishes that they're in Vegas, but beyond that, I'm not really sure. I'll read one more scene. Good work on the burger stand. Nothing to it, Mr. Douglas. Comma, they sell themselves. Tell me if you see this according to bed. She left in a hurry. Gosh, see, we already know this. Well, I would assume Dylan knows that. Maybe not. The point of this is they made money off the burger stand, and Mrs. Oppenheim isn't there, which we kind of already know. All right, so 28 pages in. This is a 90-page script, so this should be a good way into Act 2. I'm not sure what the Act 1, Act 2 break is. He found the purse or the whatever, he put it in his bag. It just feels like something needs to be happening. We need to be moving on faster. The stakes need to be rising. You know, ticking clock, all those Hollywood cliches, even though it's not a big blockbuster special effects movie, it just feels like it literally needs to be a page turner. For me, it's not exactly. Oh, I just saw Mr. Raleigh D's comment. Dylan sounds like a jerk in this script. More like a likable jerk. Yes, that's an excellent point. That is an excellent point. Sorry, I just saw your comment now. I was concentrating on the wrong thing. So, anyways, um, so I think Jay obviously didn't have a lot of flattering thing. I mean, some of your dialogue is clever. Some of those lines I could see being very funny. I think the Dylan Wendy thing has potential. I just feel like it's not played right. It's not played. He, because it doesn't really feel like he's trying hard. It just feels like he's trying wrong or he's being flippant. Um, I mean, I can maybe see where the story's going, and maybe I'll read through it, not online, to see if I'm right or not. But hopefully, what some of this is helpful to some extent, if only to find some of the little mistakes and errors and typos and stuff like that. Um, so, I mean, One Man's Trash, I think could be a good title because I think I might know where it's headed. And so I see potential. I don't see it borne out so far in what I'm reading. But again, I'll try to. I'm not going to say make it through because that sounds stupid, but I'll get through it and send some additional thoughts to you, and hopefully that will help. In the meantime, thanks for everyone. At least one person who actually watched part of this had some comments. If you watch it later and leave comments, awesome. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And we will see you next time. But in the meantime,